Devoid Wrestling Podcast. Devoid Wrestling Podcast. Devoid Wrestling Podcast. Cast it up, Micah and Derek. We'll get ready for something you will have never wanted to know. You sadly saw it coming, but I guess you should know. Devoid Wrestling Podcast.
Okay. Hi.
Hello. Welcome to Devoid Wrestling Podcast, a subsection of the specifically Devoid podcast.
Yeah.
Starring myself, Derek, last name, and Micah Pellegrini over here.
That's Micah MVP Pellegrini.
That's Micah MVP Pellegrini, short for
Those-
Montel Vontavious Porter.
Yeah, those
actually
are my
his middle
real
name.
initials. It's not a gimmick.
Your middle name is Micah Montel Vontavious Porter Pellegrini.
Yes.
Yes, wonderful.
Yeah.
How are you today, Micah?
Oh, I had to watch Raw last night, so.
Isn't it? I was watching Raw for like a little bit because I had other things going on.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wrap my head around the Akira Tozawa ninjas. And
Yeah, I remember
random
telling you
ninja
about that.
number one tried to win the 24/7 championship.
I remember telling you about that, like while you weren't watching Backlash, and I was just like, oh, the Street Profits, Viking Raiders, Viking Experience. I don't even know what they're called anymore. The Viking, that whole segment is weird, and then it was just like Akira Tozawa and ninjas arrived.
Who knew it was leading to a 24/7 championship run for a week? Why do they keep putting the belt on our truth?
Oh,
He's
well,
done everything
we
he
should
can.
introduce ourselves for maybe new listeners.
Huh?
We should introduce ourselves for maybe new listeners.
Ah, yes. Hello, my name is Derek Harnish. I'm from Vermont.
I'm Micah, and I'm from the state of denial.
Nice. Together we host a podcast that's not wrestling themed, and we've never talked about wrestling on it specifically.
I've literally
Devoid.
never said that's enough wrestling on it because there's never been wrestling on it.
So if you want to check out a not wrestling podcast, feel free to check out specifically Devoid. We have several more episodes of that than this one. This is the first episode recording session. Micah, how'd you get into wrestling?
I think it was just on one day in like 2002, 2003.
Ooh, was it Raw or SmackDown?
Oh, I didn't have cable growing up. And this is when SmackDown was on the CW. And my dad really liked Triple H, but that's because he really liked Motorhead. So
that's completely understandable.
yeah, and the first wrestling thing I remember is Kurt Angle was doing a side-by-side thing with John Cena. This was Dr. Thugonomics Cena, and Kurt Angle said bitch. And I was just like,
whoa.
I was like, you can
that's
say that on TV? And then my dad said, no, you can't say that ever.
Well, that's good.
And so,
I started, my dad watched wrestling growing up. He was like a high school wrestler, like actual wrestling, not this fake shit that we watched.
Me too. I did high school wrestling.
Nice. But my dad watched wrestling when he was younger. He watched like the Harley Race days, and he really likes Pedro Morales. I know. And my dad's favorite wrestler of all time, which I guess you could say has influenced my wrestling chops. My dad's favorite wrestler of all time is Rick Steiner.
Okay.
Which, hey, Rick Steiner's a great wrestler.
Rick Steiner is a great tag team wrestler.
Hey. Tag teams are good. Look at... Never mind.
Examples.
Examples. Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov was a good tag team. Braun Strowman and Nicholas.
Oh, I mean, undefeated tag team champion Nicholas.
Yes, I think Nicholas needs to return with his school best friend Matthew, and they should call themselves the Youngest Bucks. So that's all you need to know about my tastes in wrestling. So, for a baseline for podcast listeners, we're going to go through some of our favorite wrestlers, some of our favorite matches, shows, and we're going to do a couple of wrestling hot takes.
Yeah.
Because I know some of us have a lot of those.
And some of us are Derek.
Some of us are me. I have a very interesting way I think about wrestling, and I think it'd be great to share with you all.
Yes.
So, Micah, let's start with your favorite. What's your favorite match at the moment? Because I know that always changes for like everyone.
So, favorite match, favorite moment?
Favorite match, favorite moment.
Okay. This is kind of telling of where I really liked wrestling, because nobody thinks of this match as a great match. But The Undertaker versus Batista, Backlash 2007, Last Man Standing, for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this match ended in a draw. But it's not because of that. It's because the WrestleMania match, WrestleMania 23, is my favorite pay-per-view of all time. It's not even... There are a lot of duds on that match. There's the Great Khali and Kane in an interpromotional match. There's Ashley and Melina.
Was that when Kane was in ECW?
Yes. No, this is he's on Raw.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. There's the Trump thing. Or the GIF of CNN now appears.
Which is gross because it's Donald Trump, but it's not bad because it's Umaga and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley is a apparently really good MMA artist. He's like 15-2.
I mean, not as good as 5-star wrestling legend Jake Hager,
who's 2-0-1.
Who's 2-0-1.
Or 2-0-1 no contest. Because he needs somebody in the dick.
He needs someone in the dick, right?
Many times. I watched the whole thing because I'm a big mixed martial arts fan.
Oh, gotcha.
And so
that'll be the next podcast.
Yeah, that's the tertiary podcast. Mixed martial devoid. MMD. Anyways, but like John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, that's great. The Money in the Bank ladder match is one of the better ones.
That's the second one, right?
That's the third one.
That's the third one. Is that the one Mr. Kennedy won?
Yes. But that's also the one where Mr. Kennedy did the Green Bay plunge onto Hornswoggle on a ladder, and CM Punk used that ladder, and he just like looked at it, and then he threw it at Booker T. And that movement is very funny.
Yeah, that's
funny. That moment also has, which will probably never be referenced again, Chris Benoit versus MVP, great match.
Oh, yes.
But
MVP wrestling in a singles match.
Yes. For the United States Championship. But
yes,
going back to Batista versus Undertaker at Backlash.
Yes. Is that the one right before their steel cage match on SmackDown?
Yes. But it's just great. I just love that match. There's a lot of great spots on it. Batista spears Undertaker in like the off stage, and like there's sparks, and it's 10.
Oh yeah, that spot that they stole from Ryback versus John Cena.
And then my favorite moment is sort of a match, but it's not really a match. It's Santino Marella versus Chavo Guerrero in Madison Square Garden from 2009.
They had a match?
So nobody talks about this match. Mostly because it's not a very good match. But Santino Marella just has jersey after jersey of like New York sports teams. So it's like Yankees, Rangers, Knicks. And then Chavo Guerrero like hits him and he's on the ground, and he goes up for a frog splash, and then Santino rolls to the other corner, and he does that a bunch. And I forget who wins the match, because that's not important. The important thing is that Santino Marella has all of these jerseys and he's just like yanking them off. He's like, that's not the right one.
Do you remember? Have you ever watched the SmackDown in 2003, where John Cena in his hometown of Boston, where he's usually like the most cheered guy in the universe whenever they're there, he got booed because he came out with a Yankees jersey on?
No.
I thought that was very funny. Because, like, it's John Cena. Come on, he's a Boston boy.
It's John Cena.
He's John Cena. So your favorite match is The Undertaker versus Batista at Backlash 2007.
Yeah.
Nice. My favorite match, this changes a lot depending on...
Oh, my favorite match changes all the time.
My favorite match changes depending on what phase the moon is in and if Mercury's in retrograde.
And Mercury's always in retrograde.
Yeah. My favorite match, thinking right now, if I had to choose, I've been watching a lot of 2003 SmackDown, so a match that's very prevalent in my head is Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania 19. Because that's like a really good match. That's peak Brock Lesnar. I think it's peak Brock Lesnar that he broke his neck and got a huge concussion failing a shooting star press and was back a month later. Like, no, he took a week off and then was fine.
I mean, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say it, but like, supplemental stuff.
Ah, yes. What Vince McMahon calls not a problem. What Stephanie McMahon calls literally the same as 9/11.
Oh yeah, that's what she that's what she called the steroid trial during like the tribute episode of 9/11. Like literally like days later.
Yeah. She was like, my dad's face was under fire for the same
Yeah, my family has also suffered scrutiny.
Yeah, so my favorite match probably right now is Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 19. Also just because I love Kurt Angle. I like when he's goofy.
Yeah, Kurt Angle and John Cena doing rap battles at each other.
That was funny.
That, and then, yeah.
The Kurt Angle Edge feud.
Oh, I have that on DVD. It's in like the Edge Decade of Decadence DVD set that I have. Kurt Angle versus Edge in a hair versus hair match.
Michael, what's your favorite Raw theme song? And why is the answer Burn It to the Ground by Nickelback?
It's not. That's like not even a good song.
Oh, come on. That's the best Raw theme song for sure.
Is it? It's the Papa Roach one. Like, I just want to be one to be loved.
Yeah, the one where it was like 2007, so WWE was evolving to the PG era, but also like they were still trying to be edgy.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. That was 2007 Monday Night Raw, right? So that was like John Cena. Was that RVD?
Like peak John Cena, like superstardom.
Bobby Lashley and Umaga.
Trump. Chris Masters.
That was Vince McMahon being like... That was right before Do-Rag Vince.
Yeah.
Because Do-Rag Vince was after he lost the match at WrestleMania 23. Mm-hmm. Some people say that's the best iteration of Vince.
I mean, it's not.
I mean, he did win the ECW championship.
Yeah, but he also won the WWE championship.
Yeah, but Vince, I feel like he actually won the ECW championship as opposed to, like, winning the WWE championship. He won Extreme, Micah. That's where Shane gets it from. Do you think Shane would have been ECW champion if he was around in ECW?
No idea.
I think Shane would have made a good ECW champion. There's a hot take for you. It's on fire. Shane McMahon would have made a good ECW champion.
Graphic.
What do you?
Graphic on the bottom.
Yeah. Hey, future Derek, put that in post. Shane McMahon, ECW champion, or just like flash it here. Cool.
Yeah, and if you could have balloons going over Derek's head, like, boom, there.
Yeah, I don't think iMovie could handle all that.
You're not gonna use iMovie.
What else would I edit with?
Video pad editor, like me.
I don't know what that is. I use iMovie.
Ew. Ugh.
Yeah. It's because I don't have money to afford like
Neither do
real
I. This one's free.
video editing software.
The one that I have is free, and it doesn't take as much space as iMovie.
Yeah. I mean, iMovie comes on my computer, so like.
Yeah, but it takes up like a lot of space.
Does it? Ah. Well. Enough about not wrestling. Let's talk about wrestling.
Yeah, you'll probably cut all of that.
Yeah, we'll see.
You should. Alright, let's get into hot takes. Derek, what's like a lukewarm hot take that you have?
A lukewarm hot take. I think I'm okay. All right. I'm okay with WWE doing cinematic matches because they're good at them. I don't think Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt deserves a cinematic match at this point in their feud. I think at this point in his career, Firefly Bray is such a like, haha, get it, nostalgia sort of thing that I feel like it's kind of wasted on like a cinematic match. Like, it's just going to be the House of Horrors again. Like,
no. So
full stop. It's going to be.
Here's the thing. This isn't a hot take. Bray Wyatt, like, isn't a good wrestler. So, like, he needs these cinematic...
I don't agree with that.
He needs a cinematic match.
I think Bray Wyatt can be a good wrestler when he, like, needs to be. He's really good with Daniel Bryan. He's really good with, like, John Cena.
I just don't see it.
Yeah. I liked... Hot take. I've liked all of the weird Bray Wyatt matches of his new character. Like, I liked his match with Braun Strowman at... Was it Money in the Bank?
Yeah, but that was a match. That wasn't like a...
Like, I liked that match. I liked the match with The Miz at TLC.
Yeah, but remember when we watched Hell in the Cell in your room, and we were like, what's going on?
I don't... Hell in a Cell 2019 never happened, Micah. I think it's gotten the Chris Benoit treatment.
Probably not.
Can you imagine if they just gave, like, all of Hell in a Cell 2019 the Chris Benoit treatment?
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
Pretty sure Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch happened there.
Actually, we call it the Jack Gallagher treatment now.
Ooh. Rip.
That's topical.
Yeah. But, trying to think of a
what's your lukewarm take?
Lukewarm take?
Because I've got a hot take in a second, like a hot take.
Okay, so like this is more than a lukewarm hot take.
Okay.
Impact gets bought by mid 2021, but not by WWE.
No. Who do you think buys Impact?
Ring of Honor.
I think. Actually, I think in a different direction. I think Impact should buy the NWA. Because NWA is on, like, its last days. And it already has history with Impact.
No, I think ROH and Impact kind of... Like, Impact is, like...
Surely,
is like
Ring of Honor is not in a place to buy Impact. I feel like Impact is a bigger show than Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but would you rather see the guys in Impact have the style of ROH, or would you rather see Ring of Honor guys go to Impact and like have to do that? Because like Ring of Honor is more like athleticism and like sports, and Impact is
Well,
much
like
more
think of the Ring of Honor guys. Like, who are the Ring of Honor guys right now?
Jay Lethal,
Jay Lethal, who already has a history in Impact.
the Briscoe brothers.
Briscoe brothers, who they also have a history in Impact, right?
I'm pretty sure they have a relationship though.
Yeah, but they would do good in Impact just by themselves.
Bully Ray.
Bully. Who else? Also, Impact itself is gearing up for a big change because I know it's almost official at this point that they've signed Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah, and they just got rid of Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, which is good on them, even though apparently she's going to WWE.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I thought it was like a done deal pretty much.
I don't think anybody's gonna pick her up right now.
No?
Like, it's not like she's like a hot free agent. Even though Michael Cole will be like, it's the hottest free agent in sports.
The hottest free agent in pro wrestling!
Sports entertainment, relax. Michael Cole doesn't say pro wrestling.
It's Blanchard time!
It's Tessa time. It's right there.
What's her, does she have a nickname? Racist? Is that a nickname?
No. The Bully?
Sasha Banks is about to get bullied by the bully Tessa Blanchard!
I don't know. Doesn't, like, WWE want nothing to do with her because, like, they didn't like her attitude?
I mean, I thought so. But things could change. They brought Bret Hart back.
No. Bret Hart
No, they did. It was 2010. He became the United States champion.
And Raw GM, but that's not what I was talking about.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they were talking about his excellent match at SummerSlam 2010.
I mean, that is a good match up until, like, the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I really liked that match, and then John Cena, like, kicked out of a 450 splash after getting DDT'd on the concrete, and I was like, okay, listen.
That's like my gap in wrestling.
Oh, yeah?
Like, late 2009 into, like, 2012.
Wait, so did you completely miss the like, Summer of Punk?
Yeah.
Because that show was some of my favorite points in wrestling.
I mean, like, it's good. Like, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
It's, like, really good.
I loved...
But I still played the video games.
Yeah, I really liked... I know it's kind of cursed now considering what happened at the end of that show, but I really liked the Miz and Rey Mysterio WWE title match at the end of the tournament after, like, CM Punk left.
Yeah, if he was gone for, like, a lot longer, I can't even say a little longer, because, like, 2 weeks is not long enough, but, like, if he had stayed away until, like, Royal Rumble and, like, came back and, like, was number 30 in the Rumble...
They should have, like, let him show up to a few Ring of Honor shows.
He did show up to like an indie show, like with the WWE Championship.
Oh, right,
he just didn't wrestle.
He should have just, like, showed up in Ring of Honor. He should have shown up at Ring of Honor and beat up Tyler Black for good measure.
One of my hot takes is that CM Punk isn't a good wrestler anymore, and we're just thinking that he would be because he was when he left.
Well, he hasn't wrestled in 6 years.
I'm not sure if you know, but CM Punk actually has wrestled before in 6 years. He did that little GTS thing at the All Out weekend last year.
That doesn't count. I don't even remember that.
Remember, like, people were just like, CM Punk's in Chicago. He's got the same sweatshirt on as the...
where he showed up to some random indie show in, like, a mask and a sweatshirt and just, like, hit a GTS and left.
And it wasn't good, yeah, but, like, everyone's just like, CM Punk is gonna return. And I was just like, he would be awesome as a manager right now, but I do not want to see CM Punk wrestle anymore.
CM Punk, like The Undertaker, hasn't had a good match since WrestleMania 29.
Oh, I don't know about that. The Brock Lesnar match at SummerSlam, the Best versus the Beast.
Was that after WrestleMania 29?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was great. That was a great match.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Royal Rumble 2014 didn't suck. It just wasn't.
Yeah,
good.
but he wasn't really in it. He got eliminated by an already eliminated Kane.
I'm not sure if you know this, but he was in the Final Four.
I don't know if you know this, but CM Punk actually walked out after that match.
No.
Yeah, he left the company, actually.
That's crazy. Did he talk about it at all? Ever? Alright, sorry for that. Technical difficulties. I think we were talking about CM Punk.
You were talking about... Yes, hold on, I just dropped something. We were talking about CM Punk's last great match, the Royal Rumble 2014.
Yes, of course. Everybody's favorite.
And we kept talking a little bit after, and I brought up to Micah that since he had a gap, he completely missed the Miz's WWE title run.
Yeah. I'm so sad about that, too.
Honestly, the Miz cashing in Money in the Bank was like the first big moment from when I started watching wrestling again.
That's kind of
sad. I remember.
That's really sad though, because that's a 2009 and 2010 Raw are just bad.
Yeah,
they're not it's not like how 2017, 2018 Raw were bad, and they were just bad decisions.
I really liked the Miz's title run. One of my favorite matches of all time, and you know this very well, is the Miz versus John Morrison in Falls Count Anywhere for the WWE title.
Everyone's favorite.
It's a really good match. It honestly is.
I know it. I have it on DVD in my Best of SmackDown Raw 2011 DVD disc.
That's funny. But I want to get back to hot takes. Because, all right, my hot take. If it were still around, Jon Moxley would fit way better in Lucha Underground than anywhere else.
I don't think you've watched enough Lucha Underground.
I think I've watched the perfect amount of Lucha Underground to know that statement is true.
It is a take.
Jon Moxley as a character would be so good for Lucha Underground. Because imagine, what does the Jon Moxley character in wrestling need? And it's the ability to kill people. If Jon Moxley killed people, if Jon Moxley showed up on Lucha Underground and killed Jake Strong, just beat him to death, not even using weapons, just beat him to death.
Yeah, but the Lucha Underground just doesn't work though.
I think Lucha Underground does work, and they just they needed Matt Hardy to teach them how to do actual cinematic stuff. And instead, all they got was Matt Striker on commentary.
Hey, everybody loves Matt Striker.
He's marking out, bro. A classic line from when Booker T entered the Royal Rumble in 2011.
Hey, that was a great return.
Huh?
That was a great return.
That was a return. He returned to the Royal Rumble and then immediately went to commentary. And then around TLC time was actually, I want the Intercontinental Championship.
So, one of my hot takes is jumping ship to AEW. I think being the Elite by 2021, I would say around this time, mid 2021, being the Elite is going to be part of the Turner Broadcasting Network. It's going to be a half-hour show on it.
See, and I disagree with that a lot. I don't think the being the Elite video formula works for television.
I think that I think that there will be some version of the Young Bucks doing some internet stuff, but I think that this is kind of another hot take, but I think AEW Dynamite ratings drop soon because I think that WWE counter programs them like too well. And like they have a bunch of little shows that like chip away at All Elite Wrestling. And so I think they do that kind of as like a ratings thing. Because being the Elite gets like a substantial amount of people watching it.
Sorry, I'm looking online because supposedly there's supposed to be a big announcement about NXT UK today.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah, I don't think it's shutting down though.
Oh no. I think it could be that.
I think it's just going to be like we're returning to TV if we're going to start filming again.
I don't think so.
Do you think NXT UK is done as a TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But I think they're going to keep all the wrestlers. Like, they're going to, like, be like, but, like, nobody's losing their job.
Right.
I'm not sure.
I think it's just going to be like we're returning to filming because things are lightening up in the UK now. A little bit.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't think.
I mean, where else is Fabian Eichner gonna find work?
On isn't he NXT Tag Team Champion?
I mean, technically.
So so yes?
I mean, like on the website and on NXT, yeah, sure.
So yes, he's.
Yes. Oh, so here's something we should talk about. As of recording this, and it's funny because this will definitely come out after both of these events, there are two big events starting tomorrow.
Fighter Fest and
Fighter
Bash
Fest
at the
and
Beach.
the Great American Bash.
Bash at the Beach is almost the Great American Bash.
That was the Bash. And I want to go through the cards for tomorrow's shows.
Okay.
And make predictions with you about what's going to happen at these shows.
Oh, no one's ever done predictions on wrestling events.
Never. All right, so here's what's been announced for the Great American Bash for tomorrow. Io Shirai is going to face Sasha Banks in a non-title match. Who do you think is going to win that match?
Io Shirai. She can't lose. She's the champion, and it's on NXT. It's not like it's on SmackDown or Raw. It's on NXT.
Right. I'm torn, and I'll tell you why. Is that they really have been building, as of recently, at Bayley is holding Sasha back, and Sasha can just win matches. Sasha pinned Asuka on Raw. Sasha's about to win the Raw Women's Championship, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I think she's going to win it, too.
So I think Sasha Banks is going to win, not by interference of Bayley, but by interference of the winner of another match that's happening on the same night, which will probably be the first match of the show. So I think Sasha's going to win. And moving to that match, a fatal four-way elimination match to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. You've got Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox, who are they still feuding? Are they the Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa of the women's division? Yeah. And then you have another famous rivalry in Mia Yim and Candice LeRae.
Of course.
Who do you think's going to win that match?
Say the participants again. So?
It's Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, Candice LeRae, and Tegan Nox.
I want to say Dakota Kai.
That has been what they've been building to.
Babyface. I think they're just gonna try to pop the boys. And pop ratings. Babyface wins pop ratings.
Well, Dakota Kai's a heel.
I don't watch NXT. I literally watch Dynamite on
Dakota
Wednesday
Kai's
nights.
been a heel since the last War Games.
I don't watch.
I want Candice LeRae to win.
Everyone wants Candice LeRae to
but
win.
I think Dakota Kai is going to win.
Yeah.
Just based off of how they've been building on NXT.
Candice LeRae is like a good wrestler, but I don't think that she is like. I think she's kind of going to be one of those people who don't win a championship.
You think so?
I don't think she needs it. She's like a good character.
Like Lacey Evans?
No, I think Lacey Evans is going to be like a women's tag team champion.
I want Lacey Evans to win like the women's championship.
Oh, nice.
I really like Lacey Evans.
As a babyface or as a heel?
All right, next match on tomorrow night's Great American Bash. Roderick Strong and Dexter Lumis are going head-to-head in a strap match.
Ooh, strapping.
Now, here's the thing. This could be another strap match where it's just a match with a strap, like Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt, which slaps. Or it could be a classic strap match where they have to touch all four corners of the ring.
Oh, those ones are weird. The only one I remember is John Cena versus Rusev at, like, Battleground or whatever.
I remember in one very small crevice of my brain, I think it was Umaga and CM Punk had one at, like, Extreme Rules 2008?
That's One Night Stand, Extreme Rules.
Is it?
Yeah, because Bobby Lashley's on the poster.
Umaga strap match. It's like in the back of my head because it was like Umaga's last. It was 2009. It was Umaga's like last WWE match, and it was a strap match, a Samoan strap match, because he's from Samoa.
Yeah, I
remember.
Love.
All right. Oh, I gotta go back. So I think what happens at the Great American Bash is greatly influenced by what kind of strap match it is. I think if it's a regular strap match, then Roderick Strong might have a chance. But if it's like a Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt strap match, I'm giving that to Dexter Lumis.
See, this is like the part of NXT that I've seen because I think it's interesting. They're building Dexter Lumis. Like,
right.
They're gonna
like he's probably taking the NXT title from Adam Cole.
That's Karrion Kross.
Or actually, no, it's probably Keith Lee.
Oh yeah, that's the other week though.
Yeah, that's the next week's Great American Bash.
Yes, that's the American Bash.
So are you saying Dexter Lumis for that match?
Dexter Lumis. It doesn't make sense if Roderick would win. It just doesn't make canonical sense.
So the next match is a singles match. I don't know if there's been any actual build to this, but it's Timothy Thatcher versus Oney Lorcan.
Oh, Timothy Thatcher needs to win this.
I think Timothy Thatcher also needs to win this, but I think this is going to be the best match of the night.
I don't know. The women's match could be really good.
The women's match could be really good, but I really like Oney Lorcan. He's one of my favorite people currently doing it in the wrestling biz. Throw him up. But, yeah, I think Timothy Thatcher has to win. He can't just, like, beat Matt Riddle like that and then, like, lose to Oney Lorcan after not being on TV for a while.
Right.
And what I think is the most highly anticipated match of the evening, Rhea Ripley is going to be taking on Aaliyah and Robert Stone in a handicap match. And if Rhea Ripley loses, she has to join the Robert Stone brand.
Yeah.
I think Rhea Ripley's going to win this match.
Yeah, I was thinking that, and I was like, but she's, like, gotta lose.
I think if she loses, it's going to be very much a John Cena joining the Nexus thing.
I was thinking, like, it was going to be a Shawn Michaels, like, becoming JBL's bitch.
Oh, gotcha. Maybe it's more... Maybe it's just going to be something completely different, and Rhea's just going to, like, accept it and have a really good time. and like start
I
to win
feel
matches
like
again.
she would be better as a heel. Like, she looks like a bad guy.
Yeah, she is. Like, if you take the lyrics of Billie Eilish's Bad Guy and made them a person, it'd be Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley.
Yes. So, you say Aaliyah and Robert Stone are going to win that match.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm heading over to the Fyter Fest 2020 card.
All right, this one I know all about because I actually watched this show.
All right. Starting off, there is a tag team match between Proud and Powerful and Private Party.
Okay. Pride and Powerful are going to win this match.
I agree. I think Private Party needs to be more prevalent in the tag scene. Not Private Party, Proud and Powerful.
Yeah.
Need to be more there in the tag scene. I think they're probably the people to take it off of Omega and Paige. If FTR is not. But unless we're getting to that soon in the list.
Yeah, it's really hard because they are so good.
Right.
Like, the thing about AEW's tag division, and like everybody says this, but like it's really true, is that like all the tag teams are like really good, and honestly, any one of them could win.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really make it. Like, it's
except for Angelico and Jack Evans.
No. They have an H in their tag team name.
It's
TH2.
TH2.
Yeah. The Hybrid 2.
That company that always blasted their sound at the beginning of every movie.
No, it's THX.
But yeah, I also have Proud and Powerful there. Going again with more tag team action, you have MJF and Wardlow versus the Jurassic Express.
I think the Jurassic Express win this match.
I also think the Jurassic Express are going to win this match, and I think this is going to start. This match is going to be the breaking point for Wardlow.
No.
I think not. You don't think so?
AEW does really good long-term storytelling, and I think WWE has like implanted that tag teams break up.
Yes, but they also AEW has been building to Wardlow and MJF breaking up.
Yes.
And I think, if anything, MJF is going to cost them the match.
I think costing is the wrong word.
MJF is going to lose the match for the team.
Yeah.
And Wardlow's going to be upset about it.
Sure.
But they won't do anything just yet.
Well, Wardlow says that he doesn't like the human race today. He said that on BR Live, like a live stream.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I honestly laughed really hard.
Wardlow reminds me of Batista when he was early on. Wardlow's gonna be a star.
I mean, it quite literally is Shawn Michaels' Diesel.
You're right. Or it's Devon and Batista.
Right. But okay.
Would you like Wardlow to be walking around with a donation box on his neck?
He does walk around with the ring. He
does.
He's
true.
The holder of the ring.
All right, let's stay on tag team action. Now, the AEW World Tag Team Championship match is tomorrow, and that's between the Elite, which is Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, and the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent.
Yes. Trent?
Actually, here it just says Trent.
That's gross. He has a question mark next to his name.
Solidified, it's Trent. Who do you think is going to win, and why?
Kenny and Hangman, because they are also friends who are also better wrestlers.
They're good friends.
But I like the promo package where it was just best friends versus we're good at our job.
I like the whole thing of Paige is pretty much done with the Elite, but Kenny Omega's the one guy he still kind of likes, so he's a tag champ with him.
Yeah.
I also think Omega and Paige are gonna win, but because I think Best Friends aren't the person they're gonna lose it to.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna lose it to either FTR or the Young Bucks.
I think they're going to lose it to FTR.
I mean, that does make sense.
Yes. I think they're going to lose it to FTR, and the FTR is going to have a really good match down the line with the Butcher and the Blade.
Ooh.
Because they've been building towards that match, too.
They have.
All right.
They already had that match, though, on Dynamite.
But I think they're gonna build towards a bigger match.
AEW does a really good thing where they don't really do repeat matches, though.
I mean, sure.
They don't do them often. Like it's not like weekly booking where it's this. They do they change it up.
Yeah.
Tony Khan is really good at SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 GM mode.
True. Or is he? Because you kind of have to run the same match over and over again to be good at SmackDown vs. Raw 2006.
You can do tag teams, triple threats. You can change it up.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we have the AEW Women's World Championship match: Hikaru Shida versus Penelope Ford.
There's no way that Hikaru Shida loses this match.
Oh, absolutely
This
not.
is the easiest match to decide.
She can't lose the title yet.
Yeah.
She's just getting, I've already loved her. She's my favorite women's wrestler right now.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Yeah.
She's just getting, really good.
Yeah.
The shit she's been doing with Penelope Ford has been amazing.
Right.
And I think this match is going to be a banger. I don't think this is their last match against each other.
Oh, absolutely not.
I think they're going to have, a hardcore match. I really like the hardcore vibe of the AEW women's division. Nyla Rose is really good at it. Hikaru Shida is really good at it.
Yeah, every AEW, women's wrestler seems like they could beat the shit out of each other. In real life.
All right. So I also have a Hikaru Shida there. Yeah, that's going to be easy. All right. Probably the main event of the night.
No. Main event is the tag team match.
You don't think the TNT title's in the main event?
Absolutely not. They for a company that literally is tag team wrestling number one.
I don't know. I think this is going to be the main event.
Okay.
What I think is going to be the main event of night one is the AEW TNT Championship match between Cody, and Jake Hager. Mecca, who do you have and why?
Cody Rhodes, because he just.
Oh, he's not in the match. It's just Cody.
Cody, because it would be dumb if Jake Hager was the TNT champion.
I agree with you.
Because he doesn't.
I think this match, even though Cody's already beaten a couple people, this match is going to solidify Cody as champion, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I'm the goddamn champion."
Yeah, I'm really good at wrestling, didn't you know?
Just so that at Hell in a Cell, Alberto Del Rio can debut and take it from him in an open challenge.
Funny.
Yes, I was referencing John Cena's U.S. title run.
You were.
All right. Now, what do you think is going to be the best match of all the matches tomorrow?
Hikaru Shida and Penelope Ford.
I was just about to say, I think, honestly, the AEW Women's World Title match is going to be a match that people aren't expecting to be a really good match.
Yeah. It's just poor Kip Sabian. What did he do?
I don't know. I was going to say tag team with Jimmy Havoc, but nope.
Yeah, because, they were doing good stuff. They were on TV during, during the mass taping section where in Georgia. He was, pretty prominent. And then, Yeah, and then Jimmy Havoc stuff happened, and they were, what were they called? The dangerous...
They were the super bad death squad.
Yeah. Which, sure. But...
Sure, whatever. How long are we into recording this? Are we almost done with today's episode?
I guess, if you want to be.
What time are we at for this part of the recording?
I have no idea.
Oh, gotcha. I think... All right, before we're done, We'll each answer this question. In 2021, what tag team do you think will be in a significantly better spot than they are today? For our closing question, I can answer first. I think at the end of 2020, Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss are going to get a really big push. And I think I think by 2021, they will be tag champs.
No.
No? You don't think so?
No, I don't think so, but the Dark Order.
Now hold on. Because you say the Dark Order.
Yeah.
That could mean, what's their name? Alex Silver.
Reynolds and John Silver.
Alex Reynolds and John Silver. That can mean Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. That can mean Mr. Brody Lee and Colt Cabana.
Yes. I think that the Dark Order as a stable
will be like.
Yeah.
Do you think any of them will be any sort of champion?
I could see Brody Lee being TNT champion.
I was going to say, I think the storyline could really well lead to Colt Cabana being the TNT champion. That's something I can really see.
I don't know. We just have to see it develop, I guess.
We have to see it develop.
As this podcast goes on, you just see less and less of me.
Yeah. All right, well, that will do it for today's episode of the Devoid Wrestling Podcast. Thank you all for listening. As always, you can check out our regular podcast at specifically Devoid on YouTube and Spotify. Micah, any closing remarks from you?
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. See ya.
Deuces.